Hey guys, Pro1701 here. Today we're going to be comparing the Galaxy's Edge lightsabers with the Ultrasabers sabers and the Saberforge sabers and kind of looking at some of the differences and similarities between them. So we have one Galaxy's Edge saber, two Ultrasabers, and two Saberforge sabers we're going to look at. Now, the Galaxy's Edge Mace Windu Legacy hilt is very nice. A great decorative piece. Definitely not meant for dueling. That is one thing I can say about the Galaxy Edge sabers. If you want a saber for dueling, you do not want these. They will break. This blade seems so flimsy. It's got LEDs built into the blade, and they will damage, and this blade will break. You do not buy this for dueling purposes. Looks-wise, though, it is phenomenal. It has this nice pommel here that takes AAA batteries. 3 AAA batteries to work. You have these nice rubber grips right here, which feel fantastic. I much prefer it over the hard plastic used on the Ultrasabers hilts. Much more comfortable. You have this wonderful muted but wonderful shiny gold right here. The chrome is very shiny. You can actually kind of see my reflection there in it. This is also rubber, nice and textured. Very comfortable. You have your activation switch right here. I like that it's kind of hidden. Although when you're holding it, if you're not careful, you can bump it and turn it off very easily. I don't like that the light doesn't shine through the emitters like it does on the Ultrasabers version. But yes, it's really nice. It's a great shelf piece. It even comes with its own display box, which I showed off in the review. Really good display piece, really good for holding. And I'm guessing that's really what the Legacy Sabers get you. They look shiny, they look pretty. They're great for a shelf or just to hold, maybe even to spin. If you want dueling, though, you want to go more with the combat sabers, which are like Ultrasabers and Saberforge. Now, we're also going to look at an Ultrasabers movie hilt. And as you can see, it is a little longer than the Legacy Mace Windu saber. The Ultrasabers take on the graphics. Of course, the activation box isn't movie accurate. You can customize how you do your buttons. The silver here is shiny, but not as shiny as the kind of chrome look on the Galaxy's Edge. This one's much more shiny. It's definitely the shiniest of them. This one is more shiny, though, than, say, the Saberforge sabers. So it's still got a nice, good shine to it. It does have these hard grip plastics, just like their Electrum saber does. That's not as comfortable to hold as these rubber ones, which are much more comfortable. You have your pommel here. This has the lithium ion setup with the rechargeable batteries, and the V3 soundboard with a much brighter blade. Part of that's due to the batteries being weak in this, and me not having any more AAA batteries to replace it with. Very loud soundboard. You can duel this. I don't recommend it with a movie hilt just because the way they're made, they're cumbersome, they're hard to hold, and it's also a little big for somebody my size. We also have the Bellicose, which is a larger Ultrasaber saber. Now this one's been through a lot. I got it as a raffle prize years ago. It's gotten some scratches on it. Still shinier than a Saberforge saber, most of the Saberforge sabers anyway. Some of the newer Saberforge sabers, the Mark IIs, do have a chrome option. This button here is customizable. Don't have any batteries in it right now. This is actually a very rare pommel. Most pommels either have 3 lines or 1 line. My Bellicose has 2 lines. I've never seen another Bellicose pommel like that. Plus I have a silver AV switch instead of a black one. Again, this is more of a plastic, but since there's no ridges on it, it doesn't impede in swinging. And the cover tech is on the right side, which is where it needs to be. It's out of the way. Most people do tend to hold like this, right hand up here, left hand up here, down here. So when it's on the left side, it's really in the way. There on the right side, it's not. That is the perfect spot for it. It looks really good. I do like slanted emitters a lot. The way to remove this saber is you simply get a hex wrench and loosen this retention screw. That's what holds the blade in place, and that will pop right out. It is done similarly here on the Graphics, and it is done similarly on the Saberforge sabers. Now the Galaxy's Edge is a little different. You just take it, try not to accidentally turn it on. you push in and then twist clockwise, and that slides right out. And then you just counterclockwise, locks right back in place. Now these Saberforge sabers, again, this is the original model. It's the least shiny. It's meant to have this kind of dull look, which makes it look more real. It not being chrome does make it look less like a Shelf Queen movie prop and more like a real saber. I actually like this better than, say, an actual Return of the Jedi Luke hilt, because instead of this being somebody else's lightsaber that I have, this is just kind of my own. I like to think of it. Love the kill switch here. This can get a little grating on the hands, but not badly so. And it's nice not having an AV box in the way there. Oh, tighten that up a little bit. Nice CoverTech wheel. I haven't charged this thing in years, and it still lights up. It's probably been 2 or 3 years since I charged this thing, and it still lights up. A beautiful amber with a very loud soundboard. Laser blast effect. A very good thin neck saber. And then of course we have a smaller hilt, my favorite hilt that I own actually, my Saberforge Prodigy, which has gotten a few scratches on it. I did a little dueling with it when I first got it because I just didn't know any better. It got a few battle damage scars on it, but it's still beautiful. Again, you can see it's not like super shiny, like say the chrome here is, or even as much shiny as the chrome on the Graphics. But again, it looks less like a Shelf Queen and more like an actual saber you could pick up, turn on, and you know, an actual blade would pop out. Again, it's small, but it's got a lot of detail. It's similar in size to like the Prophecy, but it has a lot more detail than the Prophecy, and it's some good black on it to kind of break up the sculpt a little bit and make it look better.
Saberforge Prodigy.
And that's a very bright blue. The interesting thing is they look similar on camera. These are actually very different blues. This is a lighter blue, and this is a medium blue. This one is considerably darker than this one. I do want to point out I'm using an Ultrasabers mid-grade blade instead of a Saberforge blade here. I do like the light coming through right there. I do tend to use the Ultrasabers blades more because the Saberforge blades are all thick blades. That's all they do, unless they've changed since the last time I bought one is thick blades. I don't really care for a heavy grade blade. I like a thinner mid-grade blade, so I use my Ultrasabers blades on my non-thin neck sabers. This actually has an a Saberforge blade on it. Let's see. Let's look at our different blade types while we're here, because we actually have several. Let's see. Let's pull these bad boys all in. We really have 4 different blade types here. You have the Galaxy's Edge blade, which has the LEDs in the blade, and it's thin. It's very breakable. This just strikes me as breaking very easy. You don't want to duel with it. It's very white, but it still has the kind of core effect, much like the standard Ultra Edge blade. It still has the nice core effect with the wall around it, even though the blade is actually white. And then, of course, we have the standard Ultra Edge mid-grade blade, which is this one and this one actually right up here, with the silver lining, which also has a very nice core effect. You can see the outer walls right here. Now, sadly, my Bellicose is not charged, but this is an Ultra Edge blade, this white one, and when this blade lights up, it fills the whole thing, kind of like a black light tube. The whole blade fills up evenly. And then, of course, we have the Saberforge one, which if you look real close, you'll see the difference. This one is less white and not silver, more of a cream-like color. And when it activates, let me turn that around. It tends to fill the blade more evenly, a lot like the Ultra Edge blade does for Ultrasabers. So Yeah, this gives it definitely more of a full effect, like the Ultrasabers blade does. So as for which one I prefer, it just depends on what I want it for. I mean, my favorite of the three is probably my Saberforge Sabers. I love the fact that I only have to charge them about once every 2 or 3 years. You can get a kill key option with the Ultrasabers ones, but it raises the cost so much that I usually just get the standard one. And if you just leave the batteries in them, the batteries drain over time and you're constantly having to charge them. I swear these Saberforge Sabers I haven't charged in a couple years at least, and I still haven't had to charge them. They're just... they're very sturdy. So if I had to pick like a winner of which one I like the best, probably gonna be my and you can just see this one paling next to the others. I actually think this one might be getting weaker. But again, it hasn't been charged in a couple of years, so I'm not surprised. So yeah, that's looking at the Galaxy's Edge sabers, some Ultrasabers, and some Saberforge sabers. They're all good. All three companies make great products. Again, a lot of it comes down to what you want them for. That blade has been beat up and been through a lot. Still don't know where that last little scar came from. But I think my favorite ones are my Saberforge ones. My Prodigy, my Exalted. Although my Prophecy is still my second favorite saber. Gotta love my Prophecy. So each company will probably have one you like. So yeah, that's been a look at 3 different sabers. So click the like button, click the subscribe button, click the bell for notifications. I have another channel called Another Sci-Fi Guy where I talk about other sci-fi related content, especially Doctor Who. We do a lot of Doctor Who on it. If you're a Doctor Who fan, you should definitely check that out. Most importantly though, stay safe out there, and thank you for watching.